You doesn't mean you're not exposed to pharmaceuticals. Aha, exactly. Exactly. I don't take any pharmaceuticals. I'm all natural. I'm a vegan. I take no pharmaceuticals. Crazy thing is, vegans take pharmaceuticals all the time. They take antibiotics. They take all kinds of different stuff. Drugs for their acne. There's so many vegans out there that take pharmaceuticals for their acne. That's what they do every single day. Duh, right? There's all kinds of stuff like that. And then there's animal protein people. Still, they're on pharmaceuticals as well all the time, and they're doing animal protein people that are actually really into all natural living still take pharmaceuticals. Everybody does. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. You could be on the vegan aisle. You could be on the animal protein aisle. They just do. Anyway, but you might be somebody that's like, no, I'm not. I don't take. I just had to peel this lime, you guys. Sorry about this. I don't take any pharmaceuticals at all. Does it mean you're not exposed to pharmaceuticals? Do you have a partner? Do you have a loved one? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend who is on a pharmaceutical and you share bodily fluids with that girlfriend, that boyfriend, that partner, that husband, that wife, that fiance, that whoever? And are you sharing bodily fluids? Are they on an acne medicine? Are they on a statin? Huh? How did you think about that one? That one's interesting, isn't it? Okay. You're sharing bodily fluids with a loved one that's on a statin. How about a loved one that's on high blood pressure medication? You don't take any pharmaceuticals, but you share bodily fluids with a loved one that's on high blood pressure medication. Think about that for a moment. And so pharmaceutical exposure is really easy to occur for anybody. So that's important too. Anyway, we're doing the pharmaceutical exposure shot. Would you believe it? Day 14 of the medical medium brain shot therapy cleanse challenge. I have Brain Saver right here. Brain Saver's critical. Did you read the blood draw chapter in this book? You guys, you have to read the blood draw chapter in this book. You just have to. Seriously, if you're ever considering getting any blood drawn on any level for anything, routine, anything, critical to own this book. I'm telling you for sure. And someday if you own this book 5 years from now, you're going to wish you owned it 5 years before. Because that's how powerful and how important this information is in this book to protect you from when you get your blood test. So when you get your blood drawn, right? So when you're doing like this, you get your blood drawn, right? You got the thing on here and they're taking blood out. It's critical to know. I'm just telling you. It's so important. All right. So we're doing, let's just talk about the shot for a second too. Let's just do that. So there's a chapter. First of all, the pharmaceutical exposure shot. I just want to show it to you before we get started. So that's it right there. Do you have what you need? Let's go over that in a moment really quick. I got some apples right there. I got some lemons. Are you prepared? I got some cilantro, some green onion right there, right? Some scallions. I got asparagus. I got lime, and I got lemons off to the side. You probably can't see it on IG, but you guys can see it, right? So do you have what you need? All right, and let's talk about this next part here. I want to read a little bit about Pharmaceuticals, Chapter 19 in Brain Saver. Common pharmaceuticals. Any of these ring a bell? Antibiotics. Bing. Antidepressants. Bing. Anti-inflammatories. Sleeping pills. Yeah. Biologics. Immunosuppressants. Yeah. Somebody might not know they're on any of these. You might not know you're on a biologic, Look, you should take your medications if your doctor wants you to. Do what's right by your doctor and you. Choose, your doctor out there. Get your health care, situated. If you're taking medications, listen to your doctor, all that stuff, right? I'm just talking about pharmaceutical exposure shot, and I'm on page 19. common pharmaceuticals I'm talking about, okay? So antibiotics, antidepressants, anti-inflammatories, sleeping pills, biologics, immunosuppressants, prescription amphetamines, Adderall, whatever, okay? Prescription amphetamines, opioids, and the list goes on. Statins, blood pressure medications, hormone medications, thyroid medications. I know a lot of people are on thyroid medications. I know that. Steroids. A lot of people are on steroids. The pill. A lot of people are on the pill, right? Pharmaceutical alcohol. Pharmaceutical alcohol. Interesting. People don't realize how much pharmaceutical alcohol they're on. They have no idea. Recreational drugs. Is anybody on recreational drugs these days? Man, I think that business is booming out there. So I'm on page 199 of Brain Saver if you want to know. Okay. Here we are. If you're on medication or you received a medical treatment, you're aware of it. You may not be completely aware of what was in the medication. You at least know it was administered. What you might not know is what you were given in your early childhood or even babyhood that could still be in your system. So that's a good point right there all on its own. What have people been on in childhood? What was administered to them in babyhood? Right? We forget as we go along or don't know. What you might not know is what you were given in your early childhood or even babyhood that could still be in your system. It's very common to receive antibiotics early in life. Pre-memory. It's interesting, right? Pre-memory. Even if you've never taken medicine, pharmaceuticals, it still can be in your brain and body now, and you don't know pre-memory. You took it when you were a baby or a child. So this is an incredible little chapter right here in the Medical Me and Brain Saver I'm reading out of. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to start with this today. And we're making the pharmaceutical exposure shot. So it's a brain shot therapy. I'm excited. We're day 14 today. Water supply. Interesting. More and more pharmaceuticals are entering the water supply because people who are taking them then eliminate them when they go to the bathroom. So think about that. Where does it all go? It has to go somewhere no matter what. Billions of people going to bathroom. Well over 1 billion people easy on this planet are on pharmaceuticals. More than that. Where's it going when they go to the bathroom? This also means that medication-laced water can become a part of our food through reservoirs, irrigation, public water supplies, well water near septic tanks, and fish swimming in lakes, rivers, and oceans. There are other ways to get this pharmaceutical-laced water, such as brushing our teeth, cooking with tap water, swimming in lakes and rivers, pools, swimming in pools. And that's a whole thing there too. If you're on vacation and you're swimming in a pool, public pool, you don't take pharmaceuticals, but maybe a whole bunch of people in that same pool take pharmaceuticals and it's leaching out of their skin, their pores, their armpits, and everywhere else. That water's not being replaced that's sitting in a pool. That water can be the same water in that pool for 10 years. They don't drain pools and replace water. It's too expensive. It's not a common practice. So in hotels or anywhere else in public pools, that water can be 10 years old. Thousands of people could have swam in it, and pharmaceuticals could have leached off their bodies into that pool water. And that pool water is never being tested for pharmaceuticals. Water parks. Restaurant water normally contains pharmaceutical runoff. Did you hear that one? Restaurant water. The really good one there. So if you're eating in a restaurant, that water most likely contains pharmaceuticals. All right, let's go. Let's hit pools and water parks. I'm on page 200, Brain Saver. I mean, this is an interesting topic, right? I mean, I think this is really interesting. When Spirit of Compassion was giving me this information, I was just like, okay, no, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Pools and water parks. Swimming in a pool or water park doesn't only lead to pharmaceutical exposure via the water supply. There's also the runoff coming from people's bodies. When you're swimming in a hotel pool, here we go. For example, there's pharmaceutical runoff coming from people's skin and out of their armpits, their genitals. Yeah, there's pharmaceuticals coming out of their genitals in the pool. Pharmaceuticals are coming out of their mouth if they get water in their mouth. How many people are swimming and they're spitting out water? They're getting water in their mouth. It's not like someone swimming in a pool and they close their mouth perfectly and they don't talk to their friend that's also swimming, and they're swimming around with their mouth sealed shut. And after they get out of the pool, they dry off their face. No, people get water in and out of their mouth when they're swimming in the pool. I've seen people just spitting water out of their mouth in the pool, of course. When you're swimming in a hotel pool, for example, there's pharmaceutical runoff coming from people's skin and out of their armpits, their genitals, their mouth, if they get water in their mouth, and even their urine and feces. If they urinate, defecate, or pass gas in the pool water becomes a filter for what's in the gas. It's a pharmaceutical bath. So this is interesting right here. Anybody who farts in a pool, the pool becomes a filter for that gas that's coming out of the person. The gas that's coming out of the person has pharmaceuticals in the gas. So if there's a whole bunch of people swimming around in a pool and they're farting in a pool and they're letting out gas, that gas is loaded with particles of pharmaceuticals. It's like a pharmaceutical aerosol coming out of their body if they're on anything. Thyroid medication, statins, blood pressure pills, antibiotics, the pill, just anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Amphetamines, prescription amphetamines, all of it, right? So opioids, whatever it is that they're on, it's coming out. If they were at the dentist and they had lidocaine, they had Novocaine, lidocaine, Septocaine, whatever it is that they had, it's in their body. So they went to the dentist, they just had lidocaine, they had some dental work done, they're swimming in the pool, they fart in the pool, lidocaine is now in the pool water. Siriana says, chlorine doesn't eliminate this. No. Chlorine is just for microbes. You know, like microbes, microorganisms, amoebas, stuff like that. That stuff that's naturally happening because it's standalone water. The water is standing still. So because it's not like it's just water sitting in a pool, it has to stay fresh, so they kill off microbes with chlorine. Chlorine doesn't eliminate any of this. That's not an eliminator of all the pharmaceuticals. Elena says, oh my God, I remember when I was swimming this summer in a pool, it got so much worse. And there was a time when someone threw up in a pool. They just fished it out, laugh out loud, never drained the pool, and we all went back. They never drained the pool. It's too costly for the hotels. So, and water parks and stuff like that. Got to remember, if you're going to drain 200,000 gallons of water, you have to pay for that 200,000 gallons of water to get put back in. Hotels don't do that. Your water will stay there for 10 years, 15 years, unless the pool has to be fixed. If the pool cracks or breaks, then they have to drain the pool. They have to eat the money and the cost. They have to seal the crack, and then they have to fill the pool back in, right? So what I'm trying to say is your pool water can harbor pharmaceuticals for 10 years, building up in the water. It never goes away. Sure. Oh, here's something interesting here. So since the person that I read the comments said, does chlorine get rid of it, right? Chlorinating it. Sure, they chlorinate the water to shock it for parasites, bacteria, and algae. That chlorine doesn't remove any of the pharmaceutical residue in the water supply or the runoff from people's skin. Do you have the book? I know the person said, what about chlorinating? Does that help? That means you might not have the book because it says it in here. You should get this book and read the blood draw agenda chapter. It's just incredible. Inner Truth Healing says, oh my God, makes so much sense. But not common sense. Because it's not common about this information. It's from Spirit of Compassion. Yes, it makes sense though. Red Raven says, oh, people put babies with diapers on in the pool. Indeed they do. And babies get medical treatments everybody's well aware of that ends up in the pool. And adults get medical treatments everybody's aware of that ends up in the pool. Somebody says on IG, Free as a Bird says 144, good number. I think this is the most shocking info I heard so far. Even if we are on no meds, we can get them from others. Never liked pools. Every time Spirit of Compassion gives me a piece of information from above, it's the most shocking ever. Over and over again. How many years, how many times have I had to deliver the message of shocking information? And then I get branded the worst crap. Hit pieces on me saying I'm fear-mongering. Hit pieces on me saying whatever. And I'm just trying to deliver the information from above. And yes, it's shocking. Just like the blood draw agenda. That's shocking too. That blows people's minds when they hear about that. It's all the medical meme information is mind-blowing. People deserve to know the truth so they can make their own decisions. But I get discriminated against and punished for it. Punished for... I mean, people, they use a new tactic now. Oh, reliable source. I got a reliable source that says don't trust medical mediums information. That's the new thing now on social. Oh, yeah, it's from a reliable source that says, don't trust medical mediums info. Oh, really? What's the reliable source? Some other influencer that hates me? Anyway, check this out. Sure, they chlorinate the water to shock it for parasites, bacteria, and algae. That chlorine doesn't remove any of the pharmaceutical residue in the water supply or the runoff from people's skin. Those pharmaceuticals stay in the pool water unless the pool is fully drained, which guess what? The pools are never fully drained. They're never drained. Unless 10 years later, there's a crack in the pool. Pool water can stay in the pool for a very long time without ever getting a repair that calls for it to be drained. At a hotel, for example, you could have pharmaceutical-filled water for 5 straight years or more, where it concentrates year after year and doesn't dissipate. And pools never get tested for pharmaceutical levels ever. There are so many pharmaceuticals in pool water, no one could even imagine. It is a pharmaceutical bath of hundreds of different kinds of pharmaceuticals. All right. I'm glad that's the most shocking thing you've ever heard. Because there's a lot of shocking stuff in the medical medium books. Way more shocking than that. All right. Let's go into food supply. Antibiotic... can't help it. I'm just laughing today. I don't know why I'm laughing today, but I am. Danielle says, why is 144 a good number? I'm always seeing it. And I was born at 144. Listen to my Telegram audio message on numbers. I talk about 144. Talked about it for years. Since I was a kid. Okay. Food supply. Antibiotic-fed animals translate to our ingesting antibiotics when we eat their eggs, meat, fish, and dairy. Even if you take care to find the highest quality, best treated animal products for when you prepare food at home. Yeah, but you don't eat antibiotic-fed animal products, do you? So you think. Which is a great perspective measure if you eat animal products, because you don't want to eat animal products that are subjected to antibiotics and other pharmaceuticals. You've likely been unable to avoid eating conventional animal products when dining out or eating at a friend's house. And that means antibiotic exposure. So you mean to tell me there's not one meal you had over a friend's house or a family member's house or in a restaurant that you can guarantee was not an antibiotic-fed animal? Like, you can guarantee it. Like, there's not one meal you had eating out somewhere, friend's house, family's house, wherever, that you can guarantee that there were no antibiotics fed to those animals. You've likely been unable to avoid eating conventional animal products when dining out or eating at a friend's house, and that means antibiotic exposure. Should I go on, you guys? Also, animals are treated with antibiotics when sick, even if it's not an antibiotic-fed animal or meat. Now, I'm going to go into details about that. Even if you take great care to avoid eating animals fed antibiotics now, what about the first 10 years of your life? Was that 100% antibiotic-free animal products? Or the first 20 years of your life, or even the first 30 years of your life, those antibiotics that you were exposed to during a previous chapter in your life store up over time, your entire lifetime. Basically what it said is, you had antibiotic-fed animal products long ago and stored up in your body and never left. Never left. Mina Levy says, I am living proof of my experience. I am living proof my experience was terrifying until this man described what was going on. Not one doctor could. He saved my life and my sanity. He's the real deal, and his source is knowledge. To the haters of the solution, not the problem. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. Tamara says, oh my God, this is shocking. With a barf face, you know, the emoji with the green barf coming out. Appreciate all your info. I so cherish your books, my books, even more now. Thank you. On YouTube. Thank you, Tamara. Honored you're here. All right. Should I keep on reading? A little bit more. We'll talk about it. Yes, I'm in Brain Saver. A whole bunch of ingredients here for the pharmaceutical exposure shot I'm excited about. Keep in mind, grass-fed animals, grass-fed beef, free-range, pastured chicken, organic-fed pigs still occasionally get infections and get sick and get treated with steroids and antibiotics. Here's how it works. Grass-fed cows don't get antibiotics and steroids mixed in with their grass. They're a grass-fed cow. But when the grass-fed cow gets sick, which most of them do at one point, they get treated for that sickness with antibiotics and steroids. But they don't have to legally put that on the package that that cow that you're eating that steak from was sick for a week or two and was on an actual treatment. You don't get told that. It won't say it on the package. Instead, it'll say grass-fed beef, because they didn't do a daily drug treatment mixed in their food like they do the industrial cows and animals. Keep in mind, grass-fed animals, grass-fed beef, free-range, pastured chicken, organic fed pigs still occasionally get infections and get sick and get treated with steroids and antibiotics. If you're eating chopped meat, grass-fed chopped meat, remember that chopped meat isn't one cow. That chopped meat can be 100 cows. That chopped meat is chopped meat that's mixed with 100 other animals, all ground up together. Maybe 20 of those 100 animals never experience a pharmaceutical in their diet. Obviously not in their diet, they're grass-fed, right? Never experience a pharmaceutical treatment for being sick. But the other 80 cows that are ground up into that chopped meat to make that grass-fed burger could have had treatments for being sick. Okay, I got to make something clear here. This is not a campaign against animal protein or animal protein eating. I support everybody regardless of what diet they choose. I just teach people how to do it better. That's it. I message information from above so they can learn how to take care of themselves better. So if you're a vegan, you can be a vegan. I'm pro-vegan, pro-plant-based. But there's a way to do it that you can customize to heal, because there's a lot of sick vegans out there. They never heal. And they're getting bits and pieces of medical meme information that's trickling out of the communities, and they poach it and stuff. So it's helping vegans out there. And they don't cite it back to MM. But the point is as a vegan, as a plant-based person someone might be, this information is here for them to take it to the next level and still stay vegan or plant-based. Now, if you're an animal protein person, it's the same thing. I don't shun, shame, or judge anybody for being an animal protein person in the medical meme community. Quite the opposite. Instead, if that's what you want to do, I want to help you do it right, so you can customize and do what you need to do to heal if that's what you want to do. So I don't want anybody thinking this is some weird, animal protein campaign / vegan thing. That's not what this is. This is just information from above that I have to message to everybody. It's just the truth. On Rumble, Spirit Lover says, what about natural salt water pools? Like not public pools, but for home. It's not about if it's natural salt water, Spirit Lover, or chlorine based. Which natural salt water kind of is a type of chlorine based. It's just different. It's the natural salt, right? The point is, Spirit Lover, it's not about that. It's about who's in your pool. So Spirit Lover, you said, but for home instead of a public pool, right? Well, yeah, a public pool means you got a whole bunch of people going in there and all their gunk's coming out of their body. At home in your own pool, I don't know who's swimming in your own pool. I don't know who's in there. Is Auntie Jane in there? Is Uncle Bob in there? Are they on 10 pharmaceuticals? Are they swimming around in your pool? And then that pharmaceutical is in your pool for a lifetime, unless you drain the water. But the point is, Spirit Lover, it's about who's in your pool. Doesn't matter what kind of system you have, whether it's all salt or chlorine. The problem is, with medical meme information over and over again, there's one huge problem, a big problem. Because it comes from above, it does this all the time. Just blows your mind. And then people are just like, what the F? And then the word gets out. They're always like, fear monger, fear monger. Instead, it's more like empower, empower. Because the information empowers people. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. If you don't like the video, hit the thumbs up, please. Keep in mind, grass-fed animals, grass-fed beef, free-range pasture chickens, organic-fed pigs still occasionally get infections, get skin problems, get sick, and get treatments with steroids and antibiotics. They're just not as saturated for the most part with antibiotics for chronic contagious infections or conventionally raised foods with the drugs in them that animals are on in the industrial places. When chronic infections do occur with grass-fed animals raised free range and pastured, some animals are out of commission for a while due to an ongoing infection that takes a month to treat. Once recovered, the animal is back in the running again. You're set free, cow. You're better now. You were sick for a month and went into a different station on the farm. And now, cow, you're free. You're free to roam and everything, right? No, let me see here. And that's what happens. It's like the cow is now free to do what the cow wants to do, and the cow's free to roam and everything, right? And once the cow's free, the cow goes back into playing reindeer games on the farm. The cow might have been sick for a month and then put out of commission, but the cow gets better and then goes back in for the slaughter later to be on somebody's table. Once recovered, the animal is back in the running again. It's still listed as grass-fed beef. Doesn't matter if your grass-fed cow was sick for a month. It's still listed as grass-fed beef. Doesn't matter if your grass-fed cow had antibiotics and steroids and antifungals like they do. You don't hear this stuff getting talked about in all the animal hate stuff, like all the vegan stuff and all the propaganda out there. Everybody says they're an expert. You don't hear any of this stuff talked about because, you know, you'll hear it talked about now that the books are out, right? But it didn't come from medical medium, though. They'll say. Liars. It's still listed as grass-fed beef and ready for the market when the time comes. We're shielded from this information. It's kept from the inside goings on. When you're in the market, you're shielded from the fact that the grass-fed animals were still treated, they still have drugs inside of them, and they were put back on the market, and they have the label of grass-fed beef. You can't always avoid all these things, the pharmaceutical exposure shot, so you can get them out of your system. You can't always avoid all of these things. It's not about shutting your life down. It's not about you can't live your life anymore. It's not about being afraid. It's just about being empowered so you can make choices. I would like to know what's going on. Personally, I would like to know what's going on myself. And having tools like these brain shot therapies is incredible because not only can we know about it, we can do something about it. We think it's inconceivable that the animals have ever had something wrong with them. There's no way in hell this package of grass-fed beef had an animal have something wrong with it. There's no way in hell this package of grass-fed beef I'm holding in my hand, somehow this animal that once was an animal and now it's in this package wrapped with whatever and sealed in this package. There's no way that this was a sick animal. It says grass-fed beef, you know. We think it's inconceivable that the animals have ever had something wrong with them. Any kind of infection or illness, it's inconceivable. There's no way one animal had something wrong with it. It's grass-fed. It's free-range pasture-raised. There's no way it had anything wrong with it. I don't want you under the illusion that you're not going to get antibiotics from grass-fed meat because it's not true. I don't want anybody under the illusion, the bullshit scam illusion that you're not going to get any pharmaceuticals from your grass-fed products and so forth and free-range products and everything. Marion McIntyre says, blowing my mind today. Okay, more pharmaceutical exposure sources. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for this? All right. Sorry, guys. A lot of people get medication exposure from the flea or tick powder or cream they apply to their dogs and cats. If you can tell me that you never had a tick collar or flea collar on your dog or cat, if you can tell me you never put a flea powder or tick powder on your cat or dog, if you can tell me they never received a medication before, that would be amazing. At least you don't have to get exposed, right? And it's okay. I love doggies and cats. I love animals. And I would never, ever shame a dog or judge a dog or cat or animal because they had to have a medication from the vet or anything. I'm just saying that if there is exposure, we got the brain shot therapy. A lot of people get medication exposure from flea tick powders, creams they apply to their dogs and cats, or from flea and tick repelling pet collars. Intimacy is another form of pharmaceutical exposure. For example, kissing someone who's on medication. I talked about that earlier. Then there are medicated creams that have a powerful outgas. Now, I'm not trying to be like, take this so far that it's like so mind-blowing. But I'm just going to tell you what happens at the stores, at the grocery store. A lot of people have medications that are creams, and they rub them on all parts of their bodies. It's one of the biggest pharmaceutical industry part there is. Creams that are pharmaceutical based, drugs and creams. Everybody puts their creams on in the morning. Wherever they're going to rub it. Like wherever, their butt, wherever. Creams are big. Creams for their butt, their rectums, for hemorrhoids. Creams for everything. Creams for their skin rashes, creams for their skin tags. People are on creams. And then they go to the grocery store after they creamed up. Steroid creams, everything. And now they're going through all the produce. And they're rubbing their creams on all the produce and packaged food and everything. But it's not just one person. Thousands of people going through the grocery stores and farmers markets. And they're getting their creams on everything. Chemotherapy cream. I can't tell you how many times Spirit of Compassion has told me when I was at a farmer's market that someone's chemotherapy cream was rubbed on produce or something else. So many people are on chemotherapy creams. That's why they're at a farmer's market. They're trying to eat healthier. They've been diagnosed with cancer. And they're using the creams. There's a lot of pharmaceutical creams. So it's incredible, right? How it works. So many people have creams on them and it's getting on everything. So I'm not saying, we just got to live on planet Earth. Can't hide from it. But that's why I like having tools. So that if I'm getting some of that stuff in me here and there, somehow grabbing this package, grabbing that, and I'm getting it in me, I want to have a tool to help. Danielle says, I've worked at a ranch all grass-fed. Every year they brand them and cut the balls off the steers, and they give them a shot of antibiotics every single baby cow. It's pharmaceutical exposure. Oh, God, that's awful. Then there are medicated creams that have a powerful outgas. A large variety of medicated creams, from steroid creams to chemotherapy creams, outgas a very potent, pungent smell that the person using the cream is unaware of because they live in it. Breathing in this outgassing is exposure. But I talked about the exposure in the stores, right? Basic contact with shopping carts handles. Ardent Advent says all the things we don't even think about. Thank you for bringing awareness. You're welcome. Basic contact with shopping cart handles. Shopping cart handles are a big one. That's a big one. If I have to grab a shopping cart handle, sorry. Linda Klusky says, so the point of this is to let everyone know that no matter how healthy, pure they think they are, we all have pharmaceuticals in our bodies. Yes, so I would love to do something for people. I would love to know they have tools so they can help themselves, protect themselves, defend themselves, and so forth. Basic contact with shopping cart handles is another surprising source of exposure because those handles are where a lot of pharmaceutical residue resides, not just bacteria and viruses and herpes and everything else that's on those shopping cart handles. I take an alcohol wipe and I wipe the handle with an alcohol wipe. Often from pharmaceutical creams and sweat from individuals' palms. So what I don't like about the shopping cart handles is because pharmaceuticals come out of people's palms. They're sweat from their palms as they're holding the handles and pushing the handles around, which contain pharmaceutical residue if they're on medication. All right, you guys want me to read a little bit more? We okay? Pharmaceuticals and our brain. Pharmaceuticals are manufactured to affect the brain or body in specific ways, generally stimulating or suppressing certain neurological or body processes. So when you take a medication, it could very well be for the purpose of trying to enhance or subdue particular functions of the brain. At the same time, like antidepressants, any anti-anxiety meds, benzodiazepines, right? At the same time, pharmaceuticals can affect the functions of the brain in ways that aren't always ideal. Maytal says, I'm not an animal eater, but does this apply to the kosher meat industry too? Yes, it does. Let's see. There are side effects, sometimes debilitating and life-altering, and even creating a dependency that outweighs the original problem for which the person took the medication for. So we all know that a lot of medications prescribed for people for their brains because their brains aren't working right. But then a dependency happens, and then the problem can worsen and so forth. And that dependency outweighs the original problem the person even took the medication for, right? Medications can be, in general, toxic to all areas of the brain. Here's how it works. So I'm on page 201, a brain saver. Just want to give you a little rundown here before I go any further. New people that popped on here, okay? 2 best books right now, hands down, in health history. I can say that because I can judge these books. I'm allowed to judge them myself and have an opinion on these books. Best books, hands down, greatest books of all time in history. Letting you know. Miramai says, I was going to make this today. Now let's see, wait. I wasn't going to make this today. I thought I didn't need it. Now I'm making both for me and my daughter. Pharmaceutical exposure shot. That's what Miramai's talking about. Hands down, the best books. Truly. And you'll know it when you read them. I can judge them because the information came from above. It wasn't, I'm not being biased. It came from above. If I don't like it, I can say I don't like it, but they're incredible. Okay. Shardream says, what if you have to take medications to live? It's fine. Of course. This isn't about stopping your medications if you're on your medications. No, this is about pharmaceutical exposure shots, which means, yeah, you can just take the book to your doctor. Doctor, can I take the pharmaceutical exposure shot? It's apples, it's lemons, it's cilantro, it's onion, it's limes, it's asparagus, it's lemons. I said that already. Can I take the shot? Pharmaceutical shot is for recent exposure, which is incredible. And other medical medium information and stuff is for past exposure, but I like the pharmaceutical shot also for some past exposure too, because past exposure can leach out of our liver and become recent exposure. So I like the pharmaceutical shot for that. Okay. Like to read a little bit more if we can. Let's see. Piley Rin says, Anthony, I love your live so much. Especially this brain shot challenge, hearts. I prayed to catch this today because the timing usually clashes with my kids' bedtime. And here I am, yes. And yes, you are. And this is an amazing live today talking about pharmaceutical stuff, which is always fun to talk about. I mean, come on. It is, right? Okay, medications can be, in general, toxic to all areas of the brain. Here's how it works. Let's get a brain over here. Excuse me, guys. I might have to take my pharmaceuticals right now. Got nothing to drink them with. You guys don't mind, right? Can I take it with my celery juice, or is that not good? Can I take it with orange juice? Let me just take it with some water here. I'm joking. That is an L-lysine capsule from Vimergy, my favorite company, Vimergy.com. These in Victor IMERGY.com. I endorse these guys. Their stuff is incredible. And that is a lysine capsule. L-lysine capsule from Vimergy. All right, enough fooling around. Let's get down to it, you guys. Here's how it works. When a medication enters a person's body system, the liver absorbs some of it. Every time we take a medication, the liver absorbs some of it. Right here, the liver. I haven't seen this guy in a long time. I think it's been like a couple of years before I've had him out here on the stage. Okay, your liver absorbs part of that medication every time you have a medication. Much of that medication enters the bloodstream directly, bypassing the liver at first. Sound effects. Because some medications have an uncanny ability to absorb into your bloodstream through your mouth. Medications can absorb through the mouth, in through the throat, esophagus, stomach, duodenum. When medications find their way as far as the small intestinal tract, that's when they find their way into the lining of the tract and eventually into the hepatic portal vein. And where does that go? Up to your liver. Even medications that bypass the liver at first eventually find their way there through the bloodstream. Even a medication that absorbs here, boom, absorbs through here, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, still find their way to the liver. When the liver absorbs the medications as part of its bloodstream cleanup, the kidneys aren't the only part of the blood cleanup equation. The liver's doing blood cleanup. Lynn Albers, I feel like I have a fighting chance now. Yes, best books ever. I mean, best books ever. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for agreeing. Thank you. The one, you know what they try to throw at medical medium? I noticed that the influencers try to pull this stuff. It's kidneys, and kidneys, it's kidneys. He knows nothing about the kidneys. It's like, dude, your kidneys don't stand a chance if your liver's not being taken care of. Am I going to be that fool that's just like kidneys all these years and not even knowing anything about the liver and what the liver does and how to clean it up? Kidneys. Am I going to be that fool that does that? Or am I going to listen to Spirit of Compassion? It's like liver. That's how you can save your kidneys. If you don't take care of your liver, you can't save your kidneys. Same thing with lymphatic system. Medical medium doesn't talk enough about lymphatic system. That's what the influencers do. It's like, dude, your lymphatic system is a dumping ground when your liver's sick. You want me to talk about the lymphatic system all day long and not message the truth about the liver and what the liver does? Because if you don't take care of your liver, your lymphatic system is just going to be filled with shit all the time. Your lymphatic system is going to be drowning in garbage. If you don't take care of your liver, your lymphatic system is going to be drowning. The medical medium cleanses and protocols are pro-lymphatic system because it's taking care of the liver. It automatically takes care of the lymphatic system. But you'll find influencers goes, he doesn't know anything about the lymphatic system. Are you kidding me? He doesn't know anything about the kidneys. Like what? If you don't take care of your liver, then forget your kidneys. They don't know what does what. They just say lymphatic system or kidney so they can sell you a product that's an affiliate product coming from another place that convinces all these young influencers, oh, you got to get your lymphatic system. What? If you don't take care of your liver or understand your liver, you're never going to take care of your lymphatic system. I don't care how many lymphatic drainage massages you get. You can't take care of your lymphatic system if you don't take care of your liver. That's just the bottom line. It is for your lymphatic system. That's what all this is for. They just don't know it. Anyway. Okay, I had to get one rant in today. So let's move on to the medications. When the medication is out of your bloodstream, it's living somewhere else, such as stored deep inside the liver, where the medication is then time released back into the bloodstream for future years to come. Inevitably, a stagnant, sluggish liver with a storage bin of old pharmaceuticals has to pop a cork every so often. So if we don't take care of our liver, it pops a cork, and then our lymphatic system takes a hit. Releasing residues, they find their way to the brain eventually. If someone's not cleansing, then all that gunk is just going to the brain. You can squeeze your lymphatic system all you want if you don't clean up the liver. Then you don't stand a chance of keeping your lymphatic system clean. They still say, this is for your lymphatic system. So do this product, do this program. You know, this is what it does in your body, which they don't even know. It's all a scam, anyone can say. It's like scam everywhere. It's for your lymphatic system. This is for your kidneys. Here's a product for your kidneys. Here's your product for your lymphatic system. But they don't even actually know what does what or what. The liver is up against a lot when we don't know how to care for it. So it can't hold on to every brain betrayer forever, which is pharmaceuticals. Example. As the liver gets oversaturated with various cocktails of medications you might have taken along the way or taken long term, including over-the-counter medications, it starts letting go of some of those medications. The liver starts to let go of some of those meds. They circulate throughout the bloodstream again and again, and they find their way back to the brain. no longer just affecting the receptors the medications were originally intended for. The longer the meditation's fun. The longer the medications stay in the body, the more efficacy the medications lose for their intended purpose. So what happens is all the meds just stay in our body and they don't even work anymore for their intended purpose. Now the pharmaceutical brew can act as a toxic substance to the brain overall. On IG, Hillary, thank you, AW, for helping me save money and not buy trendy fad items that don't help the root problem. And boy, oh boy. That's why I'm not liked so much by so many people creating hit pieces, is because if you tell the truth about an ionizer water machine, or you tell the truth about whatever, pearl powder, shilajit, charcoal, whatever you want to call it, I mean, people get angry get angry. Infinite Wellness says, my lymphatic system was drowning until I found you and healed. Plus, pharmaceuticals contain toxic heavy metals. Pharmaceuticals also contain caffeine. These additives are a part of how medications affect the brain so potently because there's metals in pharmaceuticals and caffeine in pharmaceuticals, and they get to your brain. Woo! Medications of any kind, whether intended for the brain or elsewhere, have the ability to get past the blood-brain barrier and enter every part of the brain because pharmaceuticals are tissue soluble. How's that word? How do you pronounce that word? Soluble? Soluble. I'm not a scholar. I'm not an academic. I'm a messenger that writes word for word from Spirit of Compassion. Doesn't mean I'm the best reader. There's no part of the brain that's immune or unexposed. Medication also gets stuck in the brain, in which case it doesn't get time released. It stays there indefinitely. Okay, so what this is saying right here is what Spirit of Compassion was saying, that these meds get stuck in our brain and they're not time released in the brain, out of the brain. They're time released out of the liver. The liver will pop a cork and let some of that out all the time, but the brain won't pop a cork and let the meds out. They saturate the brain unless we work on getting them out with tools. These toxins stay definitely raising toxicity levels within the brain tissue, slowly denaturing brain cells, and then never leaving the brain until someone learns how to actively and proactively work to clean it out of the brain tissue. And that's why people can go mad. Just all that stuff just building up in their brain. It's terrible. For more information on how recreational drugs can affect our brain, see Chapter 11, Microdosing. I had to read that little part. Some medications can be useful in crisis situations, such as injuries or severe infections. I love how they're trying to make microdosing so hip and trendy. It's unbelievable. And I notice that it's like ridiculous too. It's like preying on kids now, for real. The microdosing thing is preying on kids now. Because you got all these young people that have brain problems. They got brain fatigue. They got brain fog. They got focus and concentration issues. And then you tell these young people about microdosing psychedelics and everything else. And, you know, it hits that science-minded thing, like microdosing. It must be science-proven. There must be people who have done it, you know, just right. They know what's going on. It's a microdosing culture that's starting up. Is actually insane. Colleen Bloomhuff, I'm soaking in water that's connected to the ionizer machine. I thought it cleanses the lymph system and heavy metals out of the body. Colleen, you can do what you want and do what your doctor tells you, but I'm going to tell you my thoughts, okay? Alkaline ionizer water machines are one of the greatest scams of all time. There's a lot of great scams, and that's one of them. Those metal plates corrode. And in the past, before medical medium information got everywhere, like it's pretty much getting everywhere now, where people are actually like on all this B12 and they're doing all these things now and taking care of themselves, all that's been pro medical medium for decades, right? In the past, when people were doing the ionizer water machines, they went mental and got sicker because of the metal plates corroding. This is one of the greatest scams of all time. One of them. There's a bunch of them, but that's definitely on the list. It's terrible. And then people doing those machines and then blaming medical medium for getting them sicker when they're drinking tons of that ionizer water, that alkaline ionizer water, and they're going to get so sick. Their brains. That's metal particles leaching out of those plates with electricity attached to those metal plates, corroding them over time. Insane. That tips the scale the wrong way. It's exhausting. Been saying it for years. Some medications can be useful in crisis situations. This is interesting. I've done water shows in the past talking about this. I'll do something again when I can. But right now we're in a 20-day medical medium brain shot therapy cleanse challenge. And guess what? It's free. So, gotta get your stuff. Get the book free at the library. Some medications can be useful in crisis situations, such as injuries or severe infections. I'm not anti-medication. I am not anti-medication. For a lot of reasons, some of it is useful. There are times when they are truly necessary. I say it here. What we need to be aware of is how long-term use of pharmaceuticals end up saturating brain tissue and dampening the central nervous system's ability to perform, and we're not fixing the original problem. We have to work on fixing the original problem. When we're not given answers from the medical industry about how to heal chronic illness, our symptoms and conditions continue far too long, and we may find ourselves on medications for extended periods. And I'm not shaming, blaming, or judging anybody. With the medications possibly making our conditions worse on top of it. Medical research and science don't even know what the cause of chronic illness is to begin with. So they also don't realize they could be making the condition worse from the medication. One thing to keep in mind is that sometimes multiple medications are prescribed by different doctors, creating a stronger brew than anyone intended that can alter or hinder your brain's ability to function optimally. If you're actively relying on medication, I respect that. Says it here, I do. You can still work on healing your brain and protecting it from the dozens of other brain betrayers here in part 3. Boom, diddly boom. You guys, that was really intense, by the way. Did you find that kind of intense? Halftime. Robot. Robot anybody? Is anybody doing the robot? We doing the robot? I like the robot. I like it. Am I embarrassed? Yeah. I'm embarrassed. All right, let's go. It's embarrassing? Yeah, it's embarrassing. Do I care? No. I don't mind embarrassing myself. I don't care. All right, you guys. We're having fun. Here we are. I got my ingredients in front of me. Try doing that holding your breath. No, don't try doing that. I'm sorry, don't try doing that holding your breath. It's a bad idea because that's what I do. Don't do what I do because I do things that are reckless. I work 20 hours a day and get a few hours of sleep, that is not wise. It's actually not good at all. Quarter peeled lemon, that's a lime. Lemon. Quarter peeled lemon. That's going in first. I'm going to cut it. Yep. Quarter lime peel. Lime. I peeled it. You guys saw I peeled it at the beginning. Quarter lime peeled. Okay. What's next? What's next? Quarter cup chopped green onions. Man, these babies are sharp. They're sharp. That's some strong juice. Half cup tightly packed fresh cilantro. Cilantro, anyone? Oh my God. I love the smell of that onion. The green onions. Love that smell. It just hit me. Such a great smell. Got a half cup of cilantro here. Do you know when something like the aroma of something smells so good? All right, what's next? We got 2 raw medium asparagus stems. Spears. Get it right. Whoa. There's 2 nice ones there. These are kind of like still small. Just letting you know, these aren't the real big ones. All right, what's next? Half a stalk of celery. Oh, hang on. All right. Half a stalk of celery. Let's get that in here. I don't think that's funny at all. Half an apple. See, I like that apple. That's a really nice apple right there. This is going to be so good. I love the pharmaceutical exposure shot. A friend of mine said, why are you taking the pharmaceutical exposure shot? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you on pharmaceuticals? Like, no, I'm not on any pharmaceuticals. No, not on any. I said, why are you taking the shot? I said, I don't know. Did you read the book? It's a lot of exposure. There's so many avenues of exposure. Popping some apple in here. There we go. If you're new here and you don't know about the MM1500 or 900, it's 20% off right now. But guess what? That's not the special thing. That's amazing. The special thing is the money saved. Not because of the 20% off. The money saved because of the fact that it squeezes so much juice out. And I endorse these guys because of it. Because if it saves you money, it saves you money. I love how the pulp comes out like this. Right? I saw a comment on YouTube. I think it was it Roseanne? Was it Rosanna? I can't remember. But I think she was talking about how there's influencers out there pushing the spinning basket one. Yeah. Totally. The spinning basket one takes a lot of produce and you lose a lot of produce. And people aren't wealthy or rich enough or have access to co-ops and access to infinite amounts of produce coming their way where they could just keep on pushing it through that machine. People who are chronically sick don't have all that money to throw away. So that's what I love about the MM1500 900, because it's squeezing more juice out of it. That's the whole point. And it's preserving the nutrients because it's a cold press masticating machine. Because when you're sick, you need that. When you're chronically sick, you need a medicine maker, not a flamboyant, spend a ton of money on produce every minute kind of machine. Carrie Pearson says the MM Omega juicers are the best, save so much money. And you're saving money not just because of the discount, right? You're saving money because of the produce. You're buying less produce. Oh my God. It matters. All right. Guess what? I got a shot glass right here. Fantastic. I did something right. See you later, Pharmaceuticals. Bye-bye. Any recent exposure I may have had, I'm kissing you goodbye. So good. It's incredible as you can sense how it actually can work. Because I don't get experiences like that when I just drink a juice, a green juice. Because it's about what it is. The phytochemical compounds working together. We create so much destruction and death on this planet Earth. So much toxic waste. You have to have a balance somewhere. There has to be something that exists on this planet that you can grow from your food that can levy against it. And that's what I love about Spirit of Compassion's wisdom and knowledge about what we can use to battle what we need to battle. Bartender, give me another. Bartender, I'm not mad or anything. I just want another. Carson says, I took ADHD meds since I was a child. I had terrible side effects and symptoms when I finally got off of them. I tried everything to heal, but the only thing that worked was the medical medium information. Eternally grateful. God love you. God bless you. That means more to me than anybody knows. That's the whole point. Truly making a difference in people's lives, because no one understands. No one understands what it's like. They don't understand what it's like to be struggling and have no answers. Someone wants to tell you that they are happy you're off the ADHD medications and you found medical medium too. Somebody wants to tell you and they are clapping their hands. Dr. Nesbitt, why are you clapping your hands? Because you're proud of that person? Yes, I am proud too. Dr. Nesbitt is very proud of you for getting off those meds and finding medical medium information. Dr. Nesbitt, where's Beatrice? She's indisposed? What does that mean? She's indisposed in the moment. I never understood that. It was indisposed. Anyway, Dr. Nesbitt's here. He said he took a day off today. He's not doing surgeries today. He says he's thinking about microdosing. What? No, he's joking. He doesn't think it's a good idea. He just likes whiskey. Hardcore whiskey is his favorite. What's your favorite brand? I'm not going to repeat that brand on here. I don't want to give anybody any ideas thinking that it's good for them. Dr. Nesbitt says that he's proud of everybody here. Just keep that in mind that he cares. Yeah, no, I know. I know. They like you. They still like you. Yep. Even though you're, they have doctors. They have doctors too. It's okay if you're a doctor, Dr. Nesbitt. Yeah. Yeah, I told him you're a board certified psychiatrist and a surgeon. Dr. Nesbitt says that he will gladly be offering psychiatrist needs to anyone if they're a chicken. So you have to be a chicken in order for Dr. Nesbitt to give you therapy as his psychiatry therapy. Yes. You work on humans. He does surgery on humans all the time. His waiting room is filled with humans, and his surgical table he works all day on is filled with humans. But he only gives psychiatric help to chickens. Yeah, he says he only talks to chickens. He'll cut people open and he'll do all kinds of surgeries on people, but he loves to work with chickens, psychiatric wise. So, yep, he agrees. There's nothing better than chickens. He's got a question to ask you guys. Is it a question or a demand? He's insisting on something. He says that, can you please not eat chickens or chicken fingers? He says, try not to eat chicken fingers or chicken breast. Dr. Nesbitt, don't get too excited about this. They're not going to stop. If they like chicken, they're probably going to still eat chicken. And I can't tell them different. So just calm down. He says he's been wanting to say this for a long time, but he's hoping everybody stops eating chicken. What about Piggy and Donnie the donkey? He says that for Piggy's sake, I don't know if you guys know who Piggy is, but Piggy is a friend of Dr. Nesbitt. For Piggy's sake, Dr. Nesbitt asks if you stop eating pig and ham and bacon. Dr. Nesbitt, people are going to do what they want to do, and that's just it. We have a message for the vegans. Yeah, he says the vegans, they're eating too much vegan cheese out there. He says the vegan cheese. He says that he was doing a surgical operation on a human and he found a hunk of vegan cheese inside their abdomen. What? He says yes, he pulled a piece of vegan cheese out of somebody's abdomen and he said that one of the nurses ate it. Dr. Nesbitt, that's like a terrible joke. He says no, it was a perfect piece of vegan cheese. It was still wrapped in plastic from the store. They swallowed the vegan cheese with the plastic on it. So the nurse said there was nothing wrong with it and it shouldn't go to waste, and she ate the vegan cheese. Dr. Nesbitt, we gotta go. Dr. Nesbitt says that Dr. Nesbitt has a crazy sense of humor, by the way, you guys. I'm not kidding. Selena, yes, it's the MM1500 I am using indeed today. The MM900 is also my favorite as well. Lorraine, you didn't like that joke from Nesbitt? All right, but Allah did. Allah liked it. Lots of laughing faces. Get on the Medical Medium newsletter, please, if you guys can. Download the free grocery shopping list because we're only on day 14 of a 20-day Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse Challenge. Go to medicalmedium.com and get on the newsletter. Another Light Blast is coming soon, too, so you might want to get on the Light Blast newsletter, too, at medicalmedium.com because we will be doing another Light Blast, and even Dr. Nesbitt is going to attend that Light Blast as well. Go watch the blood draw video that was posted on Reels today on IG, if you can. And what else? Well, check out my Telegram messages. I left one saying, I'm sorry. If you haven't already listened to it, check out Medical Medium Podcast if you can. Can I just say one thing? Is that okay? Just one thing, okay? Dr. Nesbitt agrees that I should say this. All right. Yeah, no, I know. We can tell him. It's okay. We can tell him. Dr. Nesbitt says we can tell you. Medical Medium podcast at Apple Podcasts. There's no advertisements and no commercials. It's unbelievable. It's the only podcast of its stature that doesn't have that. Yeah, I know. We're just being stupid. Yeah, because we can make a ton of money. And we don't do it by giving people free, no commercials and no advertising. I know. Okay, so as far as it goes, imposters, look out. Imposters, by the way, people who say they're medical medium, people who say they're Anthony William, and that they want to do a consultation and they DM you and so forth and everything, and they want money from you and everything else. Imposters, they use my name and they use my profile. That's what imposters do. Please report imposters to medicalmedium.com on this spot in my on the website where it says you can, it's an imposter. All right. I will see you guys. Yeah. I know. Bye, guys. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. Day 15. Let's finish this thing up. We got 5 more days. No, 6 more days. Let's finish this thing up tomorrow.